My name is Joe Flip. This is
Mike Jensen. How's it going, everybody? What you'll need, of course, you'll need a guitar and oil can. So we use oil cans this size here. These are 1 gallon oil cans. We've used other oil cans. We actually have got these right now that we're making for a customer that are 2 gallon oil cans, so they're a little bit bigger. Some people like the bigger ones. Some people like the smaller cans, but that's the main ones that we've used. When you get your guitar, you take it all apart.
And then a lot of these guitar parts, you know, like obviously I had a bunch of old guitar parts laying around, so it was pretty easy just to take some old stuff.
Yep.
But you know, a lot of people, you know, when they for guitar projects, you know, or you know, you could go to a music store, you can find an old beat up guitar, you could, you know, Craigslist, you could obviously use your own, you could go find one on a good deal like on eBay. So there's a lot of different ways to find guitar parts. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you just basically you need a guitar's worth of parts. Next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your guitar and your can. You're going to want to see how big your can is compared to your can is compared to your guitar body. The idea is that you're going to trim down your guitar body to make it small enough to fit inside your oil can. All right. So I've actually already gone ahead and marked this one here, so you can see how I've marked it, where I'm going to cut it. So kind of what our plan is here is I'm going to go out and cut this thing, and I'll bring this back in and show you guys kind of what I've done to modify it. So step one, we're going to do that, and I'm also going to cut the bottom off of our oil can so we can get access to that. And then we'll kind of go from there.
We use like a basic Dremel blade tool, right?
Yep.
What size Dremel blade is that?
All it is just a normal cutoff disc, a Dremel cutoff disc that I use.
How many Dremel blades do you think we've gone through?
Probably 200.
200 Dremel blades before they wear down. So we've experimented with like the cheap stuff, the expensive like diamond coated blades, haven't we?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different types of blades that we've tried, and really the cutoff discs work the best out of all of them. They're fairly cost effective, and they actually last as long as some of the more expensive ones. So
we're gonna put little Amazon links. So if you want to order any of these parts, like the tools, the blades, we'll put links in the description of the video. We're gonna put this video on YouTube and have all the links in there.
This is what I've gone and done to it. So now I've pretty much got the majority of it cut off. Like I said, I cut off the sides of the body here, cut off the bottom of the body. Another thing that we had found that we needed to do was kind of bring down the size of the necks, at least on this style of a body, the kind of the Stratocaster style. You know, some of the other ones have more symmetrical necks, but that's one of the things that we do. So that's something I did with the jigsaw. And then here, this is actually kind of important, this part here. We've got kind of a small can that we're working with, so it's not a whole lot of room in here. And so you need to have somewhere for the volume and tone pots to go. So that's what this cutout is for here. So yeah, so this is step one. You take your guitar and you modify it to look something like this. The pickup mounts to the top flat part of the guitar here, but I went ahead and removed that. And the reason being is we found that when you remove that, you get this really cool effect with your oil can guitars that when you slap them, you get kind of an acoustic sound, like a
Yeah, because normally, you know, like most guitars, the pickup is just recessed in there, so it's not hollowed out all the way. So when we, like Mike said, when we cut that out all the way, when we played it, the tone difference was so much better. Let's see if I can crank it up a little bit here.
So that's the reason for that modification on there. So yeah, that's the big internal secret to the body of it, and that's pretty much all that you got to do. So that's step one. Here was our can that I had, and I cut the bottom off of it here. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a template using the body, and that's how I'm going to know where I need to cut holes and drill holes in the oil can. I made a template, found that sheet protectors kind of work pretty well, so you can see it, maybe it's kind of glary. And now that I've got that over so I can mark them, but I use this then to transfer that pattern onto the oil can. So this is what I've done now with the can here. I put the template on, and so basically I've marked out the little holes where I'm going to drill. This is going to be where the pickup goes, so I'm going to cut a hole there, and then I'm going to cut here. This specific can I'm going to have to cut the handle off of because it's right in the center. We've had ones that have them in the middle and the center and a bunch of different other things, so it's just it depends on the can. We just kind of roll with the punches as far as what we've got to work with there. So that's my next step. So I'll go ahead and take this out and drill this and cut this, and I'll show you guys kind of how we start fitting it and doing some finish cuts.
Yeah, so you cut the whole entire bottom off, and then when we thought, like when it's cut off, it's the metal obviously can get kind of sharp. So we tried filing it down. We experimented with all different types of tubing to basically make like a gasket seal, so it protects from getting cut. Because eventually what we do is we cover this bottom anyway, but still we just didn't want to have any accidentally sharp edges. So long story short, we experimented with all these different types of tubing, like 5 or 10 different types of tubing, and we wanted to find one that was like flexible enough, small enough. So this is actually tubing that's used in fish aquariums, like for the bubbles and air. So we buy this fish aquarium tubing from pet stores, and then Mike, he made a little jig. Here, this is from a guitar part here. He made a jig with this razor, where we basically run this tube down this little razor. We slice the tube, just the one side of it all the way down. And then what we do is we carefully by hand put the tubing all the way around here. It's kind of tricky because it keeps popping off. And we super glue it to here. And then we tape it down with like painter's tape, so it's super glued inside here, so now it stays on there permanently. And then you can see this is part of the body. Once it's cut down, this is part of the guitar body that goes all the way down here and gets bolted onto the neck, just like a normal Strat guitar. You always sing the best damn song. When it's just me and you, my baby talks sweet, or she can talk dirty. With me when I'm old and ain't got no money. She be by my side, yeah, when I'm 6 feet on the ground. Have something that almost looks like an oil can guitar here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'll drill holes here for the volume in the tone pots, and then do some stuff like gluing the tubing on the bottom, and we have to put the necks together and things like that. So there's a number of other things that we're going to do down the road too. Hey everybody, Joe Flip here. Thanks for checking out the video. Hope you liked it. If you got some value out of the video, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. One other thing I forgot to cover was the cleaning of the can, which can be the most labor-intensive thing. So we just use these red 3M scuff pad Scotch-Brite pads. These like purplish, brownish kind of color things. So we buy these in bulk. We've experimented with different dishwasher soap, a lot, all kinds of different soaps and vinegar, and all kinds of different stuff. So we've noticed if you soak it in like dish soap for too long, it can fade the paint. So we basically do is we take the can, we kind of try to clean it with maybe a little bit of vinegar or just basically water and that Scotch-Brite pad. We clean the outside of it a little bit, cut the bottom off. Once the bottom is cut off, then we can put our hand inside and kind of clean out the inside if it's really caked on with a lot of oil and stuff. Some cans are dirtier than others. It's kind of the nature of the beast. But that's basically what we use. If the bottom of the can, like this thing, sometimes the bottom is decent. We just scrub it with that Scotch pad and it works good enough. But sometimes the inside of it, or both sides, are just so caked on with rust or oil or whatever. If that's the case, if it's really bad, we use this Rust-Oleum spray can. So if we have to, we use that to spray on either side, and that kind of takes care of all the rust and dirt and stuff. So yeah, check it out. Let us know if you have any questions. And stay tuned for the next video. We're going to show you the next steps in making the oil can guitar. Thank you.